Sorting out my wheels, so took the cassette off, gave that a good clean. Same with the disc brake rotors, and what I'm going to do is use these as training wheels, use these two 140mm rotors for when I'm putting them on the Trinity, and then keep those rotors for when I'm using it on the Propel, patching brake pad wear, because I mean those like brand new rotors, brand new pads, whereas obviously I've got a few thousand kilometers on these, so plus I'm always going to need to change out the front wheel because that's still that's a 160 rotor, 140s on the TT bike, so keep these for the TT bike for the training wheels, and that should work well. Two nice shiny set of rotors for the training on the TT bike. Go out to Hatfield tomorrow to do some threshold session and aero testing. The disc brake is perfectly centered in the caliper. The spokes are actually clipping the caliper itself. I guess I'll have to use the front wheel for training on the TT bike, but obviously I can use that rear wheel, so that's all good. Cracking on with 3 hours zone 2 on the turbo, so doing like 2 hours 20 minutes on the CT bike. Been spending some good time in position, shoulders are feeling it. Then going to switch over to the old road bike and do 40 minutes of heat to finish it off. 40 minutes heat, 230 average erg mode, so 250 for 20 minutes, 210 for 20 minutes. That was hard work though. Tuesday, heading to Hatfield this morning to do some threshold session with some aero testing, so getting back out on the TT bike. Got my rear wheel from my Propel, but then need to use the front wheel from the TT bike because the spokes were rubbing up against the caliper, but yeah, it'll be good. I think it looks really bling with the spoked rear wheel, especially with that funky sidewall. Similar looking to Casper's Super Aero Dare bike. 11:30 in Hatfield, so time to get started, crack on with it. So similar to 2 weeks ago, that was like 5 by 14 minute threshold, which is a lot. If I do the same route, the 5 by 10k, the rear wheel that I've got, it'll probably be slower. It's windier today, I reckon. So it might be like 15 minutes, so a little bit, but the power might be higher. So I was doing like 350 average for the efforts a couple weeks ago. So if I'm doing more like 360, then maybe it'll be similar 5 by 14. But yeah, just gonna get out there and crack on with it, see how it goes. Oh my god, look at my hair. I forgot my headband, so my hair's just like getting in my eyes a little bit. I guess I'm just proud of myself for getting that session done. It was not pleasant at times. Yeah, just really windy again. 15-20 mile an hour wind coming from the east. So I kind of got out on the 25 mile course for my warm up. So blockhead wind, tailwind, and yeah, I could just tell in that first half an hour of riding, it was just like, this is not going to be fun today. Yeah, even in that tailwind section, it was kind of worse in the tailwind, to be honest. I'm just tapping along, and then when you have a lorry coming the other way, you have this moment of the wind dies down, and then it's just you just get the whole this horrible frontal force of it. So when you get a lorry, it's just, okay, how bad is this going to be? It's bad every time, but it varies as to like how exposed it is. And the roads I was riding on, one's parallel to the M180, one's parallel to the M18, but it just gets really like heavy duty traffic, like big lorries and such. It means that you just get some nasty gusts of wind when you have a lorry coming the other way, especially. So I got out onto the O10, the 10 miler course, which was thankfully a crosswind. It was tricky in that crosswind. And you'd still get the lorry issue, not as bad. But yeah, every time you have a lorry coming the other way, it's like, oh, hold on. But I mean, it's not like you need to be prepared for it, but then the best way to react to it is you just need to be loose on the bike and absorb that horrible gust of wind. Like if you if you lock up and go all rigid, it's going to be even worse. Yeah, I got my first like 15 minute threshold effort done, and it wasn't comfortable, but it wasn't terrible. So then I was like, okay, I'll do one more, and then I'll do some like tempo or something, just a more relaxed session, not worry about trying to do some aero testing. But I got the second one done, and I'm like, you know what, like this bit of road is going to be the best, because it's just more of a cross tailwind out, cross headwind back, better than if I go exploring the lanes a little bit and then I'm just getting this horrible headwind. So yeah, I just decided to stick it out, did my 5 by 15 minutes tempo, and did some aero testing, some nuances with the position because of the wind. Like, well, I'll analyze it, but I'm not expecting to see any meaningful results, just because with the wind, I mean, I'd catch a nasty gust, miss a couple pedal strokes, sort of thing. They look like they're chipped and sealed quite a lot of a section of the road. It's like a 2k section just at the start of the 10k out and back. So that would be 2 miles into the course. You've got a mile and a half of chip and seal. But it's probably about the same as it was before. Like, that bit was just a bit. The surface wasn't good. It wasn't terrible, I thought, but it was a bit like bumpy and such. Whereas now it's just chip and seals, buzzy, but it's not like awful, I guess. Consistent. That's something. Power was decent. My position wasn't great, just because I'm learning how to ride better in the wind, and that's part of it. It's like getting this session done. It's like, you're not comfortable in the wind, but you're able to do it. I ride on the poor road surface with the crosswind. It was like I was off to like completely off one side of the bike. I was off the other side of the bike. But I was like off this side. My hands are in the middle of the bike. I'm off like this side, just so I can like tilt the bike and have my weight distributed properly. So I'm like off one side of the bike. So saddle sores, like, unsurprising that it was a bit sore by the end. And I was finding, I did 2 weeks ago, I was like floating out of the saddle and pushing a bit of a bigger gear. Today I did find that I was able to sit in the saddle more, and probably easier to get the power out. The cadence was higher, which has always been better for me, historically. So able to get the power out in the saddle, but then because I'm like tilting the bike and hanging off one side of the bike, like I'm just not stable in the saddle, not planted evenly on the sit bones. But yeah, we got it done, and yes, the efforts were probably like 360 average, but yeah, worked well, so good job. All good training at the end of the day. Another 40 minutes of heat training now. 230 watts erg mode. Once I've averaged it all out, started at 250. 250 for 10, 230 for 10, 220 for 20. So that's 230 average. Whew, recording on the left side of the RCMA. Good stuff. So testing the long versus short overshoes, based on some testing I did, some very rudimentary testing I did last year. It indicated that having aero fabric on my calves actually is slower than not having it. So even though for the most part people go faster with the calf guards with the long overshoes, I think it's worth testing for me, the long versus the short. So I did. First hour I got 5 by 3k done, and then I've done another 3k, so I've done 6 3k efforts, and that was long with a short rest, short with a short rest, then another one with a bit of a longer rest, and another one with a bit of a longer rest for the short. So I've done 4 runs with the short, 2 runs with the long, so change back into the long overshoes now, and then do 2 more runs to bookend it. So it's AA, B, 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 AA. And then if we have time at the end, I'm gonna try something a bit different as well. Good track session there. So I did 6 by 3 kilometers. So that was AA, B, 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 and then I moved to doing 2 kilometer runs. So I did 2 by 2 kilometers with A, bookend the B's, and then 2 by 2 kilometers with C. So the calf sleeves over the knees, which wasn't a looker, a bit uncomfortable on the back of the knees. They really need to really tight squeeze to get into them, but Casper does it, and if he does it, it's because it's faster for him. So yeah, it's worth experimenting with a continuum of UCI, full length overshoes, and then full length overshoes plus knee sleeves to kind of see how my leg interacts with the wind, and see if, because of my big legs and big Reynolds numbers, that actually having the fabric on isn't actually any quicker. Casper also said that potentially like a smoother fabric would be quicker if it is the case that the long sleeves are slower on me. But have a look at the data tomorrow and then make a decision for the weekend as to if we're going UCI or full length overshoes. I won't be doing the knee sleeves there. Good session at the track then, helping out Matt and Kate at the shop, so good stuff. Got a weird phantom puncture on my front wheel. 120 psi when I put it in the car, and then somehow flattered. Not sure what happened there. Bashed the valve core or something and split the inner tube. It's actually not split at the valve core, so that might be repairable, because if it's around the valve core, which is the typical place it goes, like it's kind of a lost cause, but that might patch, to be honest. Lovely Friday, getting out for some zone 2, a little bit unconventional. So I cleaned my disc brakes the other day, so I needed to bed them in, so started by just going up and down my road, bedding the braking surface, and then I've come out to Manchester Road, which is shut for the next month and a bit. So I've got like a one and a bit mile stretch of road. So I was like, you know what? It's a sunny, nice, still day. The wind's finally calmed down. Typical. There's a race on the A10/3 tomorrow, which is going to be like really good conditions compared to when I did it 2 weeks ago. It was just awful. But hey ho, we got the circuit champs on Sunday instead. Because I got this almost closed bit of road, I mean, we've been getting some cars where they think they can get through, they go up, have to turn around. But I was like, you know what? Let's do some aero testing. Been testing regular position versus aero hoods and drops, because the speed's so slow on the uphill. Not sure how useful the data will be, but that's to find out. And yeah, it's closed for another month, so could combine this with Hatfield and track to get even more aero testing in, so that's good fun. Here's another one. Yes mate, you see the road is actually closed. Aero testing in hairy ankles and ankle socks. So my baseline was the aero hood's position, finger behind the shifter, and then everything else like over the top of the hood. And B was kind of my normal riding position, so upright, slight bend in the arms, but very relaxed, natural position. Like on the downhill, it naturally gets a bit more hunched over, a bit more bent, and just allowing that to happen, because it's all about regular riding position. And then C was drops, which was similar on the downhill, a bit more bend in the arms. That's just naturally how it goes. A B A B A C A C A. So 9 runs. Bookended with baselines, lower back and triceps definitely feeling it. Triceps not too bad actually, but my back was definitely struggling, because I've never been really good at holding the aero hood's position. But yeah, be interesting to see what that data looks like. Need to also check out my data from the track yesterday. Like I say, absolutely gorgeous day. Nice little openers ride there. A couple of like tempo, thresholdy type efforts, like a bit of a ramp and a sprint, and then like 3-seated sprints to out the saddle sprints. So like 36 minutes. Yeah, good little ride that. Feeling good for tomorrow. Lovely day, gorgeous day today. Would have been a shame to not get out.
They come past there twice, it's a big open green, you can sit by the ducks.
Arrived at the Open Circuit Championships. It's a technical one. I think most people have recce'd the course. I've been studying it on Google Maps, and I'm hoping it'll be alright. I've seen some people's recon rides from yesterday. They took this wrong turn. So yeah, easy to mess up. But you start, the road really bends round to the left, like full on turn. Go back on yourself a little bit. But it's on the main road. You don't split. And then there's this section where you bear left. The road does naturally go to the right. You bear left. You take the split. You go over the dotted white lines. So taking some photos of the Google Maps that I was looking at. But 13 minutes past 8 now. I'm number 88. I'm off at 28 past 9. So got an hour and 15 minutes to get ready and get on with it.
Go on, Tom! Faster!
I think most of you have won a prize.
Someone's come to say hello to me. Jet? You're just waiting on the doorstep. You gonna come as well? Happy with my ride today. Feel like I got the most out of myself for where I'm currently at. I'm feeling in a much better place fitness wise. Like obviously I'm not in top shape, far from it. But it's very early doors, and yeah, it'd be good to get building from here. Sessions have been getting better. I don't think I could have done much more on the day. Like learned the course, studied it a lot on Google Maps, but had to learn it on the fly. In and out of the extensions, like technical twisty turny sections, almost overcooking a couple of the corners, just like realizing you're coming in a bit too hot. But yeah, it was good fun, good circuit, mostly good road surface. Some bits were a bit rattly, but not too bad really. A bit of hold-ups with getting stuck behind some cars a couple of times, but nothing crazy. Like I don't think it would have really affected the result. So I ended up coming 5th overall. So it was Matt Roster, Will Loudon, I think Leon, and then James Jenkins, and then myself. Leon was in the junior category, so I was 4th in the main event, but obviously 5th overall. So yeah, it's not too bad. Like James knows the course really well, and obviously is top rider. Will has won the circuit champs twice, I believe, and Matt Roster is absolutely flying. Like he is, yeah, he's a weapon. I mean, he was last year, but yeah, he's made that step. He's made a step up, I reckon, as well. He caught me for 2 minutes just before I finished the second lap, Interestingly, he was looking extremely good on one of the technical downhill sections where I could see him. Like, he just looked very comfortable with how he was maneuvering the bike and like very under control, but like leaning the bike in the right way. And obviously, I've been working on my technique, and it's been getting better. But some of those sections, I was a bit like, oh, whereas he looked very comfortable, like just like he'd been a cyclist for 20 years. So, you know, it shows like Olympic tier athletes, even if he was a rower, like he's picked it up like that. And obviously he's got the fitness at absolute megawatts, you know. So George Fox Cycling Solutions actually pipped us for the team prize, because they had George Fox and Jack Levick. They also put together some very solid rides to come in the top 10. I mean, 5th to 12th, like we weren't separated by much. Like, it was very tight. But yeah, managed with the outstanding time from Matt, they managed to pip us for the team prize, which is fair enough. Give us some better competition. But yeah, just a nice event. Got to meet Blake, the owner of No Pins, who's now that we're Team Bottrell No Pins, he's riding for the team this year, so had a nice chat with him. We had a bit of a photo op with all his Bottrell riders. Yeah, it was just like a pleasant event. Stayed with David Halliday last night. That was very much appreciated. About an hour drive in the morning, 3 hours home from Essex and back now, and yeah, been a good day. I can't really complain with that. Fifth is decent. And yeah, it's a really good place to build from. All 4 of us are doing the Welsh 25 next week, so on the dual carriageway with a big downhill at the start. So that'll be good fun, because that'll be much more my style. Because today it's like I've been working on my aero, but for today it's like you couldn't even be in your best aero, because there's the two sections of the course where you could kind of lock into the position, but for the most part you kind of just had to be a bit more relaxed to be able to get out of the base bars as and when required, because it was so technical. Good fun, happy with that. And like I say, we'll keep it moving forward. It's been a really solid week of training. I mean, I've just had a rest week last week, and then just a solid week of training this week. I was thinking on Friday, I was like, oh, I might be a bit knackered for Sunday, but yeah, I felt good for today, good legs for today, but also got a really solid week of training, and going to be doing that for the next few weeks. Just racing at the weekends, but mainly just stacking some really good training hours in.